One of the reasons why I'm really supporting this cooking course, because I've had a lot of positive benefits myself. So you know, I am a physician, but I'm also a person who has consumed different foods and vegetables that has been sprayed with different chemicals, pesticides, and I myself had manifestations of this. For example, as I continued to get older, I became to be diagnosed with hypertension, bronchitis, inflammation, and of course I've tried many different things, and I'm not speaking to you to try to treat yourself. I'm saying as an individual person, I've been able to compare both sides. So you as a person, you need to have regular checkups, annual checkups. You need to follow the advice of your doctors. But I'm trying to broaden your consciousness and your mind to try to do things that will improve your health. We're speaking of building health. I'm not here to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. We're speaking of building health. Because I have yet to meet anyone that was healthy and sick at the same time. So, as I've experienced my own difficulties, I, of course, use many different things, medication, and as time goes on, you have to increase whatever you're doing. So my experience has been, it had to finally hit me that what's bothering me, I have to get rid of. I have to treat that exact problem instead of trying to put a Band-Aid on it. So when I met Dr. Mishra, and we were in a class, I think, in Canada, and he was talking about natural things. And of course, I looked at him and said, yeah, I'll just sit here. I had a day off. I had nothing to do in particular. So I tried some of his methods. I started changing the way I was eating. I started putting on creams. My circulation was poor. I wasn't eating the right foods, etc. And then slowly, my blood pressure became to improve. And I said, well, this could be maybe I was resting and it really didn't hit me yet. Then it slowly, as months continue, this is a slow process. This just doesn't happen overnight. And it came down a little more. I said, well, okay, if it stayed down this low, let me just cut my medications a little bit. You are not to do this. You have to follow your physicians. I've had a lot of patients who said that doctors had to cut their medication. So you let your physician do this. Don't try to do this by yourself. So I cut my medication, and then once I noticed that the blood pressure was still stable after so many months, then it came down a little more. Then I cut myself a little more, and I stayed there for a few months to make sure this was okay, and I cut myself a little more. So once I was coming down from 3 a day down to a half a day, it struck me that what I was doing was really helping me a great deal. And I remember I was going out of town to a vacation. I used to have to take my blood pressure medication with me, and I forgot it. And I was on the plane. I said, oh my God, we were going out of town and going to Mexico. I said, I can't write a script in Mexico. And we stayed there for about a week. And I said, oh boy, I'm going to stroke out sooner or later down here. Got back, soon as I took my blood pressure, soon as I hit the States, it was still 110/70. Okay, so I said, I just can't believe it. I mean, because I've been under the understanding this cannot be done. And I took it again and then used a different one. I used a different one. I had someone else take it to make sure I wasn't delusional. And 110/70. Now, from that period of time, you remember 25 years, to date, I haven't touched any medications in going on 2 years. And my blood pressure is still 110/70. 70, sometimes over 65. I used to be able to walk up one flight of steps to my office and be tired and have some chest discomforts. Now I can run with my husband. Now he can't leave me anymore. I'm able to run 4 to 5 miles without stopping. And guess what? I'm not even tired. I can come back home, get dressed, and go to work. Now, what is this telling me? What I'm doing is working. This is really, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. If it works now. It's always been the truth. So I had to find out my own truth. My own truth is that I had to get rid of, I went through a natural detox program guided by him, start eating natural foods, and with this detox program I actually rid my body of what was making me sick. And then with these foods are very basic, because you can remember Hippocrates state back at 640 BC, which is about 2,400 years ago, food as thy medicine. But he was before his time. That's the truth. If it was the truth now, see, the truth doesn't change. If something is the truth, it was the truth then, and it's the truth now. It was the truth back then, it is the truth now. You don't have to keep changing the truth. If it's the truth, it works. It always works. It always will work. So I had to tell myself what I was doing evidently wasn't the truth. And evidently my hypertension wasn't the truth, because it's gone. Okay, the truth is consistent. It's eternal. He stated that back 2,400 years ago. And who I'm about to introduce is still saying the same thing. The truth does not change. You cannot change the truth. And if you come to your senses like I did, you don't want to change the truth. The truth is already here. It was given to you. Now, you might not believe it. You might have gone and had a part in polluting these truths. We polluted the water. We polluted the air. We polluted the food. Your body's polluted. So, what is a polluted body going to act like? Can't be healthy. So the seeds have been planted. The water was here, which was polluted. That's growing this seed. So of course you're going to have malformations from this tree. So what we're trying to say is, get the seed purified. And when it grows the tree and all the branches coming from the tree will be healthy. But if you chase each little branch and the trunk is still growing abnormal branches, you'll be chasing and taking zillions of things, hearing billions of things to try. But you remember, it's only one truth. You have to understand this. You can't make it the way you want to make it. It's already done. What's already been created has been here. Because if it was left up to mankind, you know, you see what we have done. Let's just be truthful with ourselves. So now we're trying to tell you the truth once again. Hasn't changed. The only thing that has to change is your mind. Your mind has to change. You have to find your truth. And where is the truth? It's inside. Right here. Inside of you. All this time. You remember that movie? It used to be my favorite movie, The Wizard of Oz. She kept looking and trying